Welcome to the graduation ceremony of the class of 2020. I would like to begin this ceremony by expressing my deepest gratitude for the parents involved with Project Grad and the faculty and staff members who made our drive-through graduation possible. We could not have made such a beautiful graduation experience for our students without you.
Welcome, class of 2020, to your not-so-traditional graduation ceremony. My name is Michaela Penoris, and I am your senior class president. I know this isn't the way you imagined to end your time at Carrillo, but class of 2020, you are making history. We have endured so much within these past 4 years. To name a few: fires, power outages, evacuations, and lastly, a global pandemic. Not everyone can say that they have dealt with that during their teenage years, so saying I'm proud of us is an understatement. Our class has experienced quite the unique senior year, and not every opportunity has been negative. To start the year off, we were able to paint our parking spots for the first time in 4 years. From football games to soccer championships to performing art shows and basketball games, I am proud to say that our class has been involved in every aspect of the campus. Now let's use the strength we've gained from these experiences to take on the next challenges. It's time to graduate.
While we've had elements of a normal high school experience, homecoming, sports, performing arts, finals, many parts of our high school career has been very unique. Our high school experience was basically a twisted Harry Potter remake. And so our teachers have worked so hard through this, harder than any student would care to admit. But high school isn't the real world. The real world is fires, killer bees, mythbusters, and housing shortages. So I'm conflicted to announce that we have spent less time in high school than any previous graduating high school class. Go us. And consequently, have spent more time in the real world. So maybe we are more prepared than we think. Maybe we're stronger, smarter, and a little more understanding than we ever could have been otherwise. The one high school experience that I am missing is the senior prank, that final send-off that leaves a stamp of a class's personality on the school for years to come. But what is our send-off? What is our legacy? Usually the legacy is something that the senior class gets to do. Is ours going to be something that we didn't do? Go to school? Here's what we should do. This will be our legacy, cliche, but we will leave our mark on the world. Not only through well-engineered, large-scale, organized pranks, but by playing the hand we've been dealt. By becoming the scientists, engineers, artists, and teachers that we've been dreaming of being since we were young. And in case we don't shake the curse, I hope a few of you are firefighters and epidemiologists. I had to look that word up. The world may try to forget and move past the things that we have seen these last 4 years. I can't entirely blame them, but they cannot forget the people that these past 4 years have created. They will remember the class of 2020.
Over the past few months, I've had a couple of realizations. We've had a great opportunity to grow up in a place of such wonder. Being in such a beautiful place, it was no surprise that as elementary school children, some of us took field trips to Muir or Armstrong Woods, home of the coastal redwoods. Here are some of the lessons I've learned. Lesson 1. You might notice that redwood trees look very similar to each other, and it can be hard to differentiate between a group of them. However, each tree has different characteristics to it. Many of them have burn marks, holes, or other imperfections. Despite those imperfections, the trees continue to grow and become something beautiful. We were born in the wake of tragedy and continue our education in a time of so much uncertainty. We have imperfections. But despite the anxiety and worry we faced, we keep going. We can let those weaknesses become strengths, and we can continue to grow and become something beautiful. Lesson 2. I remember a guide telling us that even though redwood trees are extremely tall, they have very shallow roots. So, how does the redwood tree stay standing? While the roots might be shallow, they spread very wide. The roots of the trees will interlock with each other to create an unwavering support system. I cannot stress how lucky we are to have such amazing teachers, friends, and family. They've not only supported us through the good times, but the bad times as well. We need a support system. We can try to be as tall as a redwood, but if we don't spread our roots, we will fall. I know that this year especially has been difficult, but the unwavering support has helped us to reach our full potential. Lesson 3. Trees will always find the light. Trees strive towards something bigger, and they adjust their trunks in order to get there. They refuse to dwell in the shade of others. I've learned over the years that while I can't control what's going on around me, I can always control my attitude. No one could have predicted our high school experience, but the best thing about it is good things can be found in bad times. We can strive towards something bigger than us, and we can reach for our goals, but sometimes it's okay for expectations to fall short. So, while there will always be terrible things going on around us, let's remember to find the light in a dark tunnel. Congratulations, class of 2020.
I was in the 6th grade when I figured it out. We were going to be the class of 2020. I couldn't believe it. The idea that my high school class was the class of the decade. It seemed so big, so important, so inspiring. I dreamed of this day since that time, and there is one thing I have to say to the class of 2020. We made it. We are graduating, despite fires, disease, and uncertainty. And that is in addition to all the struggles that come with being a teenager. I know, we are not in an ideal situation, because our family should be with us. We should be able to hug our friends and truly celebrate our accomplishments. But we are together. We made it. As the class of 2020, we have perfect vision, right? Yet we were blindsided by so much. Not one of us could have predicted the months we have been out of school, robbed of times with our friends, and scared out of our minds because of things we cannot control. Yet, how about this? What if the vision abilities of the class of 2020 do not fall under the category of psychic prediction? Instead, our special power is looking back on the past and seeing forward into the future. Class of 2020, look into the future and envision all the extraordinary things we are going to do. This year may be the end of our high school careers, the end of a decade, but it is the start of a new age. Our experience with natural disasters has taught us the strength of community and the resilience of our hearts. But we must not forget that Maria Carrillo High School also taught us lifelong skills that go far beyond the quad. We were taught how to handle ourselves with grace, carry ourselves with dignity, and, of course, how to avoid getting hit by a golf cart. Our school is our launching pad, and we are the next generation of leaders, dedicated workers, compassionate people, doctors, teachers, and adventurers, both in body and in intellect. So I challenge you to see this day, not as evidence that we made it to the end of high school, but as a commitment to embrace hope for the future and create our legacy. Additionally, I invite you to reflect on the past 4 years and remember, the class of 2020 has achieved academically, athletically, artistically, and innovatively. We are the class who has had 2 of our runners take first and second place at state. We are the class who has won unanimous superiors for band and has an award-winning chambers choir. We are the class who showed our dominance and unity this year by winning Class-A-Rama. And, most memorable to me, we are the class who, on senior night, beat undefeated Cardinal Newman in a volleyball match with the best home crowd cheering us on. When we look back, let us not define our high school experience by this pandemic or the wildfires. Instead, Let us reflect upon our growth and success as individuals and as a community, and be proud, because no matter what stood in our way, it did not stop us from walking across this stage today and receiving our diploma. Now, this is not how 6th grade me pictured our graduation, or how any of us imagined the last 3 months of our senior year, but I am proud to be with you today, and it is with the utmost honor that I say congratulations, class of 2020. We made it.
What an incredible honor it is to have been chosen by you, the Maria Carrillo High School class of 2020, to give this commencement speech. As I stand here today, I can't help but think back to that day in the fall semester when one of you asked me during calculus class if I wanted to give this year's graduation speech. I told you that I only leave my name on the ballot in years when I feel a connection to the graduating class. And you followed up with the obvious question, do you feel connected to us? That question was easy enough to answer 7 months ago with a resounding yes. But now more than ever, after all that we've been through together, I can honestly say that I've never felt more connected to an entire class of seniors than I have this year. Over the past 4 years, the 363 of you in this class of 2020 have had a total of 74 days either canceled or moved online due to unforeseen circumstances. In contrast, if I had been chosen to give this speech 4 years ago when my previous advocacy class graduated, I might have mentioned the one day when school was closed for them due to flooding in the December of their junior year. As one of my current advo class students recently pointed out, all this adversity that has defined your class's experience is what makes you special, not left out or unlucky. Just think, without those 3 weeks of school closure in October of your sophomore year, we wouldn't have had that inspiring Friday when all 90 of our MCHS faculty wore matching Puma Strong shirts to welcome you back to our campus. And as we reconnected that day, I was captivated by our conversations, recognizing that while we all went through the same major life-changing event, each one of us had our own unique story to tell. Obviously, these past 10 weeks of physical separation have come with many challenges, but I've been delighted to have this opportunity to discover new ways of connecting with my Pumas. From the 88 Zoom sessions I hosted, 18 of which included Carrillo alumni, to the 224 pieces of mail that I sent out to current and former students throughout this whole quarantine time. Perhaps my favorite being the matching number of the day sticker prizes I sent to 2 of you in particular. I did my best to set a good example, to stay motivated, and keep moving forward, all while letting you know I wanted to see your smiling faces in our virtual classroom. To the 59 of you who filled out my grad speech input survey, I thank you for taking the time to share your thoughts and stories with me. Please know that your feedback is appreciated, and I very much enjoyed getting to know a little bit more about each of you through reading your words. What stood out to me the most in your responses was how much you valued your teachers who cared about you and who were supportive in more than just their classroom instruction. Last month, when I joined 36 of our amazing Carrillo staff in recording my part of the lip sync video that was shared with all of you, I hope you saw for yourself just how much we love you and miss your personal energy on our campus. To the class of 2015 Puma, who truly taught me the importance of showing an individual student how much I genuinely care, I want you to know that over these past 6 years, ever since you first opened up to me about your suicide attempt, I've never stopped caring about you. You know you can always count on me whenever you need a friend. To all you Pumas out there who have struggled with your mental health, suffering from anxiety or depression, please know that you are not alone. Reach out to someone you trust or use that crisis hotline number that is now printed on every student ID card across the state of California, because it is a proven fact that talk saves lives. To the class of 2016 Puma, who taught me the importance of showing my support for your passions outside of the classroom, during these past 8 years of following your journey, ever since I first saw you on the pitcher's mound as a freshman on the Carrillo varsity team. I've always enjoyed supporting you, and I thank you for giving me a reason to fall in love with baseball. To all you Pumas who found your place of belonging in some extracurricular activity, I have loved watching you and capturing you on camera as you competed in sporting events while your fellow Pumas cheered you on, or as you performed on a theater stage while your fellow Pumas applauded your talents from the audience. And I will never forget how excited I was to watch you sing your hearts out as the Rockets' red glare on the Warriors' home court at Chase Center the night before Thanksgiving. As I think about my beloved Pumas, I must emphasize that the greatest common denominator among you has been your willingness to express your gratitude. Whether that meant saying thank you out loud, or written in a card or letter, or an email or text, or an Instagram comment, or an AP reflection assignment, or a Google form, or even a little pink Post-it note. Please continue to let others know you recognize their efforts. They will be more likely to keep doing the things you noticed and appreciated if you let them know how much it meant to you. While you are all celebrating this momentous milestone together with a historic drive-through celebration, what is clear to me is that this diploma means something different to each of you. Remember that your journey is yours to make for yourself, and you should feel free to decide on a future path that is right for you. In closing, I want to reassure you that our connection does not end here. You have many more chapters of your own personal story to fill, and you can tell me all about it when I see you again.
I think it's important for us to think about who we are at times like this. Think about it. You, the class of 2020, have experienced fires, loss of homes, power outages, and now a pandemic. In the span of 4 years, you have experienced more than most people your age will experience in a lifetime. Yet these things, these external forces, they don't define you. It's the internal mechanisms that propel you forward. In my time in shelter in place, I've been listening to a lot of podcasts as I walk boss around our block. I recently listened to an interview with Sue Monk Kidd, the author of Secret Life of Bees. In her interview, she talked about the importance of living large. This idea that even in times like these, when we are separated and alone, we have the option, the choice to live large. Every person has their own unique genius. You are all unique in your own way. And as a class, you are a special community. So let's unpack this a little bit. What does living large mean in such an extraordinary time? It means even when we're apart, we're together. It means finding joy in the small things in life. It means stepping outside of the meism and standing together as we, a community. It means celebrating the small wins. It means perseverance and resiliency. It means taking pride in who you are and how you walk on this earth. That is how I see you, class of 2020, and how I want you to step forward in this world. There is no place so awake and alive as on the edge of becoming. But more than that, birthing that kind of person who can authentically say, I am me, and I take pride in standing as one among many. When embodied in your soul, your spirit, your community, you are living large. It's worth the risk and the hardship. Don't see the boundaries or the limitations. See the opportunity and the innovation that lays ahead. Be brave, be bold, be awkward, and be you. You have taught me so much, and I am better for knowing you. experiencing life with you, meeting life's challenges with you, and just being around you. Thank you for being you and stepping forward with such confidence and grace. I wish you all the best of luck. Parents, grandparents, siblings, I ask for you to participate in the next part of our program. I want you to take a deep breath and think about your graduate. If she is with you, take a minute to look at her. Absorb all that you know about her. See him as his younger self and remember all the milestones along the way. Feel that warmness in your heart for your graduate. Now visualize releasing that beautiful energy out into the world. Surround your graduate and the class of 2020 with that positive force as we send them out into the world. Class of 2020, I hope you feel loved, honored, and inspired for your journey ahead. Congratulations, Maria Carrillo High School, class of 2020.